We live. Let everybody pile into the room. I know we're probably getting into it a little bit more, but just for people, while people are coming in here, Jordan Love. We got an update on Jordan Love. He's will be out for what 4 to 6 weeks.
That's what they saying.
Okay.
Probably on the safer side, make it what? So I say I gotta see when they're bye week. Let me look at their schedule. But I say he probably not playing till week 8, week 9.
Okay.
Just to be safe with it. I mean, they did just pay him all their bread. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now, if he was to be on track, he'll be coming back by between week 7, week 8, between the Texans and the Jaguars. Their bye week is week 10.
Who's their backup?
You saw who their backup was, Malik Willis.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and they got a ugly schedule coming up. Well, they got 2 cupcakes, I would say, but without Love, I don't know how much of a cupcake they are. But they got the Colts and they got the Titans. But then they got the Colts, Titans, and Vikings. So those are the cupcakes. But then after that, from week 5 to week 9, they got the Rams, the Cardinals, the Texans, the Jaguars, and the Lions.
I don't know how much they're going to be able to do with Malik Willis, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, luckily they can figure something out because they got a home game against the Colts. The next 3 games they have, 2 are at home. So they only going on the road to Tennessee. But the Colts and the Vikings should be wins. Tennessee may be a problem, but I don't know. I would probably to be safe, I'll probably keep him out until coming back to that second half, week 11 after the bye week. And because they play the Bears on the road.
Well, we'll have more information on that by Tuesday, but man, y'all know why we here, man.
Is this the 2-part convo?
I will. There's some things I want to point out about Notre Dame. I thought that was when I was reading up on that. I really want to watch the games first to see how bad the losses were for both of those guys. But I know they were already trying to get Sharon out of there, bro, after week 1. So to go out and lose like that.
Are you talking about Michigan coach?
Yeah. So they don't watch. So, but yeah, what happened with Marcus Freeman is inexcusable. But maybe we'll see where we go with this, or how long we even stay on this. But it's not bear to lead, man. Deion, and Deion lost to Nebraska. It was supposed to be a big QB showdown. We did not get that between Dylan Raiola and Shedeur Sanders. Primetime matchup.
Dylan, aka Patrick McClone. That's what they want to call him. That's what they want to. Bro. I've never seen. And these kids, they grown men now, especially how late they stay in college. Bro, he wearing 15. He wearing his hair like him.
I know.
He doing like he got the same colors as the Chiefs, similar as far as the red and white. And it's like, all right, bro. I understand if you want to model your game, but this is taking like a Kobe fandom too far.
Yeah. He didn't play like him either. I was not impressed by this kid, bro. Yeah. I was not impressed. I know early on they had a good, strong running game, and everything, but second half it was a lot of the Nebraska was sloppy. I don't even think they scored in the second half. A lot of penalties and stuff like that. But Colorado played better in the second half defensively. But at that point, I think Nebraska knew it was over. But first half they were trying to shit on him. They were calling all kind of trick plays and shit like that, and they weren't able to kind of get what they wanted. But nevertheless, man, this is about really Deion. Like this guy, man, and the producers of the show are foul as shit because the game was over.
I seen that. You talking about that clip that they showed? He went in the beginning. Like, was it the hours before the game happened or something like that, or the day before, bruh?
Yep. I was like, why y'all gonna show that man? That man didn't
They
even touch Dylan. And you talking about we're gonna get at him, we're gonna get him. You
they
best believe. I'm like,
assholes.
yo, what?
They was saving that video for the whole. They was saying that they knew they was gonna lose. They was saving that video to play at the end. They assholes for that.
Yeah,
They
here goes Shelton.
assholes. Bro,
So that shit was foul. But look, man, Nick, this is where I want to start, bro.
All right, go ahead.
Deion ain't really got the guys, but I got some concerns about Shador. I understand he didn't have a lot of time to throw the ball, but anybody can sit back there and got a clean pocket and all day to look can find somebody wide open. Travis Hunter was shut down for most of the game, and they started kind of going to him after there was a sizable lead. He made a couple plays, hitch routes here and there. He was talking shit, and you're down 21-0, and you talking shit like nobody can guard you, bro. The game is over. Like, they're probably laxing the coverage a little bit. He was pissed off that Shador didn't throw him the ball when he was absolutely covered in the end zone. Like, you made a great play last week, but you're not going to make that every single damn week. So you were pretty much MIA for the whole first quarter that I remember, because I did watch the whole thing, unfortunately. And Shador, like, he didn't look good. His reads were not quick. Granted, there was a lot of pressure, but even when he was rolling out, but the inexcusable thing that he did was that damn fucking pick six, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, and he was talking shit the whole before the game. Him and his daddy, him and his papa talking about, oh, ain't shit. Shador ain't seen. Shador even talking shit. Oh, I'll be fine. I've seen all kind of coverages. Bring it on, bro. He couldn't do shit. This is the shit I be talking about when I was arguing with FIFO. What do these guys look like when they go up against top quality players? Like, and I couldn't think of the example last week, but whether it was Baker, whether it was Johnny Manziel, they were lighting up all the other team. But when they went to the SEC and played top quality guys, these receivers couldn't get over. What do these quarterbacks look like? Because that is the level of competition they're going to see in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So, and you're not always going to have a great offensive line either. Mm-hmm. So, it's the second game of the year, the season. So we'll see. But I also, before I hand it to y'all, when people were sitting there bragging and boasting and talking about what they did against North Dakota State or whoever they played last week, like, they struggled against that team and barely won that game. Everything that was being brought up as a concern reared its head tonight, and they looked overmatched.
Shut, I'm gonna let you go, but I just want Ken to know that he's saying everything that I was saying last week. Niggas was saying I was hating. I was just saying, just seeing what I was saying what I saw. But go ahead. You the only one that's gonna be shooting a lot of people bail today. So
man, shoot, nobody bail. Nobody gets a pass on this one. It was a horrible game. That offensive line is the same as it was last year, just complete trash. The three of us would have done a better job blocking than what they saw out there. Decision making was poor all the way around. Coaching was bad. There was no good aspect of this game that you can point to for Colorado, other than to say the only thing you can say if you're trying to look for something positive, if you're a coach there, I would just say at least y'all came out and fought a little bit in the second half. That's all you can say. And even saying that, you still were outclassed. It was a sloppy game across the board, but overall, it just didn't make sense. To talk as much as they do, you got to back some of that up. You can't come out there and play like that against Nebraska. Nebraska used to be a powerhouse, but it's no longer that. There's no longer the same thing. So we can't talk about it like, okay, you just faced this huge foe. You wasn't facing a top 5 team. You weren't facing a top 10 team. You were facing a team that has a decent freshman quarterback. But other than that, you should have had a better shot in this game. If you lost the game, it would have been bad. But to lose it the way they lost it was horrible and horrendous. There's no silver lining to this. The officiating was awful too, but it was a call on every single play. It was something happening every play. I've never seen that many flags, and I don't know how many flags were thrown in that game, but I've never seen that. And if it wasn't for some of those calls, the score would have been worse because they called back about 2 or 3 touchdowns that Nebraska had. So it was rough, man. It was rough. And I understand the marketing behind what Deion is doing. I get it because it's must-see TV, whether you want to see him win or fail. Butts are in the seats and people are there watching the game. So that's what's going to keep him employed because Colorado ain't had that type of acknowledgement since them bad boys with their Westbrook and those guys. So that, of course, they like the attention, but you don't want too much negative attention. And this is what this is going to bring. It's going to be hard to recruit if you're not able to coach.
If you're not able to win, it's like it's not even like because not every I'm not comparing them, but like Urban Meyer isn't an X and O's kind of coach, but he knows how to manage a team and manage a roster and get them to win it. Like, for me, looking at this game and what I was saying coming into the season, like there's expectations now. Like last year was the time when you could get away with losing and scrapping and getting your wins here and there because we all knew that Deion was coming into a different league. Then when he was at the coaching at Jackson State, when it comes to level of competition, so it's gonna take him some time. And then like we were all just saying like, oh yeah, wait till he gets his guys. He's gonna be good. He got all the best. He can tap into his NFL friends as far as coaches, and as you see, he got Warren Sapp there. So it's just like, okay, there was like they beat TCU last year. They won 4 games, the most they won in years, decades, probably. So like, okay, now there's expectation. That's what I was saying coming into the season. I was like, they got to win at least 5+ games for it to really be like, okay, we're seeing progress. And we went through the schedule before the even season started. And we were all, and a few of us were saying, like, bro, this is a hard ass schedule. They got to get, they really either have to scheme their ass off or just get lucky and win a shootout. But like Ken said, like that first game against North Dakota State, I said, like, bro, that shit, that didn't give me any kind of inkling that they're on the right path. And I know Shador had great numbers, but that game was like, it easily could have went either way. And if we're talking about an 0-2 team going against like now, like the more and more weeks that go by, they're getting into a harder part of their schedule. Shador's pick 6 was the game for me because it looked like they struggled out the gate to even get down the field. And when they could, they just couldn't punch it in. Like there was a couple red zone plays later after that you just look like this team is just, the offensive line is just not ready to go against any kind of competition. Nebraska's not even ranked. They're just going off the fact that like they're used to playing Big Ten competition. So their guys are still going to be good enough to compete. And that offensive line that was shitty last year is now shitty still this year, in my opinion. Shador just looks like if he doesn't have a clean pocket, he rattled. Shador reminds me of Jared Goff more than anything. Shador, like if he does not have a clean pocket, because he's not athletic enough, or I guess he chooses not to use his athleticism to be like a runner. And even when he does run, it doesn't look like it's natural. It's kind of looking like he's just trying to find something to do. Because like a lot of the long yardage situation they were in because he was taking stupid sacks, trying to evade and run around. I was like, bro, you're not that fast. Like these DNs, like they was catching them quick, and it was just like
white boys too. Some of them like white boys.
It was like, why don't you just throw the ball away? Like, why are you even trying to at this point, just like don't make a negative play. But yeah, it was the pick 6 was early because it was like it's one thing to say like, oh, we couldn't move the ball down the field, we couldn't score, but you giving them points now. Once they went up 14-0, it was like they had momentum and everything. It was a wrap. So, but I mean, the announcers was trying to help them out as far as saying like they got some of the best wide receivers in the country. They all going to the NFL. I couldn't tell you that based off the offensive scheme because it was nothing but screens and then like the short, medium yardage routes. It seemed like Shador couldn't. It was just off. Like he couldn't really get his accuracy didn't look great, but also the route running wasn't the best either. So then I was also making me question like how good are these receivers when they going against real competition as far as like can they get open? But it was just a shit show. It was a shit show all over. I did, Ken, to your point, they did show up. The defense for Colorado showed up in the second half. By that time, it was already 28-0. So it's just like, all right, I didn't even think the defense was giving a fuck because it's like they not scoring on us regardless. They can't run the ball, and Shador is not as accurate right now as he was last season or even just last week. So I don't see how this team, like, getting to 5 wins would be surprising for me at this point. They did, and I know they only need 4 more, but at this point, I don't see where those wins are coming from unless y'all got. I'm gonna pull up the schedule, but we can go through it.
Yeah, and look, because I see a lot of people in the chat trying to say it takes time, pointing out other coaches that have taken 4 or 5 years to build up their program. Let me tell all of y'all something right now.
Go ahead and say it, because I'm about to say it with you.
Y'all know, get it down with Deion not gonna have his ass there in 4 or 5 years. I don't know why y'all keep trying.
Deion is gone after this season. When I was reminded when they said on the broadcast, like, oh yeah, this is this quarterback from Nebraska going against, I think he's a junior or a sophomore or whatever, going against senior Sador. I was like, oh, he's a senior. Yeah, he out of here.
It's over, bro. This is it. It's a wrap.
And the thing about it is he's talked that talk. So you put a target on your own back, because here you are boasting and bragging about what's going. It's almost like a parent that say, they want their kids to go fight. He wanted his boys to go fight the kids down the street, and they got jumped on. So now they crawling back home. If Deion was just being, doing some of the good things he's doing, he could be Deion. I'm not telling him to be quiet. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, not with the bragging and the boasting and saying what y'all gonna do. This ain't wrestling. Just say we got some work to do. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna play hard. That's the one thing I'm committed to do. If you talk like that, people will give you the time to get there, because it is year 2. But because the transfer portal and switching these guys out and all that stuff that he has going on, as far as the bragging and the talking and bringing in the Warren Sapps and all this mess that they got going on, you don't get as much time as a person that don't have this stuff happening.
And that's the reason why it's hard to even try to, I won't say root for the team, because I know there are people who are, but it's hard to really get attached to this team because, for one, to Ken's point, Deion's not going to be there long enough. And 2, the reason why that's an issue is because they don't have a culture there outside of the flashy shit that you're getting from Deion, but that's Deion's culture. That's not really Colorado's culture when it comes to, like, what is their football identity? What is Colorado good at? Like, at least with Nebraska, we know they're gonna run the ball, and that's what they did. They ran it down the defense's throat. Like,
yeah.
So it's just like with Colorado, it's like, are they an air attack offense? You couldn't tell me that, but based on how that game went, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, what are they really good at? Like, I don't know that, and Deion won't be there long enough for us to find out that answer. And
that's what they're supposed to be good at. And here's the thing with that team. Just like any other football, winning cultures are created in the trenches. Your offensive and defensive line is where you start to build a football team if you're going to be successful. It's been that since the beginning of time. He's never had a good offensive lineman. He's never had a good defensive lineman. Everything that he has is skill positions on the outside, cornerbacks and receivers. They do have that. And Shador's not a bad quarterback. I think he'll be fine in the league. But for now, they need the trenches. If the trenches were set, then at least you'd be in some of these games we're talking about. But that's
Shelton, Warren Sapp's defensive line, they coaches fight better than they do on the field, bro.
Right. You're right. It's crazy.
And we saw that over this weekend. The coaches were scrapping way more than this damn team was. And you got one of the defensive tackle jumped offside. Then he committed a roughing the passer call later. Look, the fact of the matter is Deion's always going to be Deion, losing or winning. This is what he does. And he's going to, now, even in the loss, he's still going to talk it up and big it up. He is the ultimate hype man. I just the thing about it is that he has been good for Colorado in a number of areas. The data says, so we can pull up the stats and talk about enrollment, this, that, and the other. But you got to put numbers on the board, bro. And if you're not winning, these celebrities, I don't know if I mentioned on here in the chat, the only losing teams they like to go see are the Lakers. They'll go, and the Knicks.
Yeah.
I don't know how long they're going to keep going to watch Colorado lose it, because that's not going to be that good for their brand. But this football team tried to build this team through the transfer portal, and right now it doesn't look like it's working. And they're getting manhandled in every facet of the game. And Shedeur just didn't play great, even when he wasn't under pressure. Outside of in the second half when they were, and that was only when they were rushing three. When they were rushing three, he had all time to throw the ball. But when they were rushing four, and he just didn't get it done.
So here's their schedule for the rest of the season. They're on the road facing Colorado State, which is another primetime game. I don't know how many primetime games they're gonna get more after these games this season or this stint. But Colorado State, they play next Saturday on the road. They're at home against Baylor. They're on the road after that.
Well, you could let's call them by as you're going. That Colorado State game, what you think?
I think they lose that. Colorado State's motivated. The quarterback of that wide receiver, was that the one that was talking shit about? So we stayed so we could beat Deion's ass. I think they got it. Baylor, I think they lose to Baylor. I think they beat UCF.
They'll beat Baylor. They'll beat Baylor and they'll beat UCF. I think they'll beat Colorado. I think they'll win the next three.
Damn,
that's saying a lot. If you saying they win the next year, that means they match their win total all last season.
I think so.
With two games on the road.
The only reason I think so is because Colorado State. Who did they play? They let me see who they played because I can't remember who they played. But
well, remember Shiloh was out for the year. He broke his forearm.
Yeah, Texas beat them 52-0, and I know
Texas though.
I know it's Texas, but.
What you mean? I know it's Texas. You see what they did to Michigan,
right?
Right. Well, Michigan is Colorado to me. Northern Colorado kind of hung with Colorado State as well today, so that's why I say they should be Colorado State with the offense. Okay. That's all I'm thinking is the offense. And Baylor's quarterback, they got a young quarterback, and their offense ain't moving the ball like that either. So. Those two things.
Well, I do think between Baylor and UCF, they're going to lose one, win one. So whatever one you want to call it is fine. I don't think they go 3-0 though. I think they go 1-2 in that 3-game stretch. Now here's where this is the ugly part of their schedule when we hit October. We see they're at home against Kansas State, who's ranked 17th. I don't know what their record is now after this week, but they're ranked 17th. They won?
Yeah, they won.
So they're ranked 17th. So the week after that, they're on the road facing Arizona, who's ranked 20th.
They're gonna smoke them. Arizona gonna smoke them.
Then after that, they're at home against Cincinnati. They should beat Cincinnati because Cincinnati lost a goofy ass game to Pittsburgh today, where they was up by 26 or whatever, and they lost. They gave up 22 points in the second half, didn't score. So Cincinnati's not looking good right now. Then they're on the road against Texas Tech. After that,
they're favored against Texas Tech, but I don't think
by the time we get to that point of that season, I don't think that's gonna switch over. Then they go they're at home against Utah, who's ranked 11th.
They're gonna get smoked in that one too.
Then after that, they face Kansas, who's 19th on the road, and then they end their season facing Oklahoma State at home, who's ranked 16th.
They're not beating any of these ranked teams.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, that's that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 ranked teams in their last 7 games of the season, and the only non-ranked team is Texas Tech and Cincinnati, which I think they're going to split one of those games.
Yeah.
So this is the stretch that they have to win in both of their games because I don't see them winning anything else outside of maybe Cincinnati and Texas Tech. So if they win these next 2 out of 3 and then win one of those, then they got their 5 wins right there.
Yeah, his whole mission is to get to a bowl game. That's not enough wins, is it? 5?
No, hell no.
5 is not enough. You're gonna need one more. You'll need 6 to get to one.
I don't see unless they just go on us on a sweep right now and ups and get this Cincinnati Texas Tech. That's 5 right there, and then maybe Kansas.
Yeah, and that's not gonna happen.
But I'm saying all that to say, like, at this point, it's like you can't be outside of being from Colorado and Denver and all that stuff, then you're going to be a fan regardless. But to me, anybody else who was really believing in this Deion phase of this college football era that he's in, you can't really support him if he ain't winning and it don't look good on the field. Like at least one part of it, like you could say, well, at least he got Shador balling on the offense, or at least he got this defense up playing strong or stuff like that. He got Travis Hunter, and being a Heisman candidate and all that shit, maybe possibly winning. It's not looking like that. It don't seem like it's getting better because again, their schedule's getting harder. So it's just like if they're not winning and they're not putting a good product out there, then what the fuck is we celebrating for? What are we talking about? And like this, and then Shador being in his senior year, this ain't a good time to be shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's not coming in with hype like Caleb or Baker or Kyler or even Jalen Hurts. Like, that's why I was saying, like, it depends on how this season go, where I think Shador get drafted. I don't want to see him in no Giants uniform if he can't do this. If he can't put up numbers, like, what you think he gonna do in the NFL against that shitball team in New York with the Giants, who have, outside of Malik Neighbors, no weapons. Their offensive line is still patchwork at best. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, it's gonna be the same thing. Like, nah, I'm not using the top 5 pick for that.
The biggest difference, I think, though, Nick, would be the coaching. The fact that you got a better coach there. Coaching will help Shador more than anything else. Like we said, I really think they got Deion and got the right people in place to help these guys. They're not looking better. So something's missing in there. I know a lot of it's transfers, but shoot, we got to get some better coaching.
But these were supposed to be upgrades, right? The offensive line was supposed to be better. The defensive line was supposed to be better. All these things were supposed to be better after he went in the transfer portal.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So these coaches that he have, they're not getting the job done. You're not seeing the progression of the players that you need to see. You're seeing a lot of talent, but talent does not equate victories if you don't have the proper coaching and you're not in the proper positions to make things happen. Those receivers are talented receivers that are league receivers. He got one now. Weaver's just made the team with the Cardinals. And you got players that came off this team that he recruited that can play on, like I said, in the skill positions. They can. But to get the proper coaching to get them to the next level and to get them to be winners, that's what they're missing. They don't have that.
Yeah, he probably has 3 guys that may go in the league. Travis is a first round. Will Shepard and Jimmy Horn may be late round picks, but they'll probably get there. Jimmy Horn didn't really do anything today. He had 3 catches for 26 yards. He had a questionable play that was overturned, but I thought he didn't really gain control until until the toe was up. I think that's a judgment call there. Will Shepard had a couple of big catches. Travis Hunter got a lot of targets, 10 catches for 110 yards, but I mean, he's a legit first round draft pick, so he's going to get his. But Shador, he took 6 sacks tonight, and some of those pressures were coming right up the middle. And then a couple of came around the edge, and then he's just running for his life, looking to make a play instead of living to play the next down. There was one play where Dylan Raiola just took what was there, or it was something where he made a really smart football decision as a quarterback, and if he was a first down where he take the sack, he either threw it away or he just took the check down, and I didn't see Shador doing any of that. So he was awful in the first half, and a lot of that was pressure. But yeah, he was 23 of 38 for 244 yards. A touchdown and interception, and Deion got him out of the game. But it's not like Dylan lit it up. He was more like he was 22 or 30 for 185 and a touchdown, but they ran the ball like crazy. They had 149 yards rushing, and Colorado only had 16 total as a team.
They play Big Ten football, defense and running the ball and the run game. That's what I'm saying. Nebraska, that's the conference they come from. Like, if you're not playing great defense or good to great defense and running the football, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to see a lot of aerial assaults in the Big Ten. So to me, that's why I was like you have to, like, Colorado had to be damn near perfect offensively to kind of compete, and that's what they have to go into every week and be like that. Like, Shador can't throw picks. Shador can't take meaningless sacks. Like, even though he got sacked 6 times, I think half of those is based off of him. Like, you just got to be able to, like you said, can't live for another down. So I mean, again, I'm not trying to be a Shador hater. It's just that I'm just calling it like it is, bro. I just don't see where success is for this team and how you're grading that. If we're grading how we always grade coaches, we just talk about wins and losses and how does it look on the field? How are you developing your players? And it don't seem like there's much development going on. Like offensively, like they schematically, they didn't help out Shador either with like easy routes, easy, kind of like multiple like options for a play, whether it's medium or deep. Like it was just all either medium routes or long bombs, because they started off the game with doing the short route and shit, but like that didn't work because the players couldn't even catch the fucking football. So it's just like, all right, what we doing? Like I don't know. I have no faith in this Colorado team, but we gonna keep up. We gonna do these weekly reports. We gonna be right there with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? We a black podcast, so we just try to we try to keep it a bean with everybody. We gonna talk about everybody, not just Deion. There's a lot of black coaches right now that ain't looking good.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Shelton, I don't know what's going on with your boy Marcus Freeman, man. I'm only gonna focus on him tonight. I'm gonna say Sharon more for later because he did go up against the top 3 team, the third ranked team in the nation.
I think they
fourth, third, or fourth. It don't matter.
Yeah.
He still got stomped. But losing to Northern Illinois 16-14 after you won, and they didn't even look that good last week. They won the game, but they didn't look great offensively, especially in the first half. So they lost on a 36-yard field goal with 31 seconds left, and this came after interception by Riley Leonard, who was supposed to be a guy for them this year. This is Northern Illinois' first ever win against a team ranked in the top 10 of the AP 25. And on top of that, he was a 28.5 favorite coming into the game. Like, what in the hell happened? This man, they're gonna get his ass up out of there. Yeah. If he don't turn this around. And Mark, Shelton, we've been on this program for years, rooting for the guy, trying to pull for him.
Yep.
But man, we gotta call it like we see it, man. This ain't it. No. This ain't gonna get it done.
Shout out to Thomas Hammock, though. He's the head coach of Northern Illinois. I had to look his name up because I couldn't remember, but he was crying on the sidelines after the game, man. He was
crying is an understatement. He was boo-hooing, bro.
I can't believe this, Boy. Marcus Freeman should have been right beside him crying, too. Like, I can't believe it either. Because there's no way that team should have been in this game with you. First off, you're at home. Them Golden Domes should be intimidating to a team like Northern. You should have won the game before the game. And to lose a game like this, the way they lost it, what was that field goal? That last one was like 60 yards or something like that. You should never been in that position in the first place. So
losing 16-14 at home against a team that's the first biggest win in school history program. Yeah. I think in the whole program, like even the whole conference that they're in, like they never beat a top 10 team. It's bruh. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
He got to get to the playoffs. Like after a loss like this, you have to make the playoffs. If you don't make the playoffs, you getting fired.
He's not going to make the playoffs though, and the reason being is the strength of schedule. You look at their schedule.
Let me go through their schedule.
They're not going to be able to make up from this loss.
He has to. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I don't give a damn what you like. He's coaching his job. Like, at least with Deion's situation, it's like they're gonna give him some leeway. As long as Deion want to coach there, he's gonna coach there. But with Freeman, it's like, nah, bro. The program bigger than you, my nigga. Like, you gonna be a free man, all right.
Right. All they got left is Purdue, who's unranked, Miami of Ohio, who's unranked, Louisville ranked 22nd. So that's kind of decent. Stanford, Georgia Tech, who lost today to Syracuse. You got Navy, which is that's not.
Oh, they got it. Yeah, they get into the playoffs, bro. They're gonna
run the gamut. But I'm just saying, based off strength of schedule and that loss may knock them down.
USC is their only issue, and that's the last game of the season. And so they only if they run the table and have only those 2 losses, like they in the playoffs.
But that's gonna be losing to Northern Illinois. I can't say that it's gonna be easy.
It's one of those. I'll give him credit because I'm only giving him credit because how he ended last season. Last season he ended on a run. Like we had this similar conversation last year. Like, damn, he lost to a goofy ass team or in a goofy ass way. We was like, nigga, this is Notre Dame. They don't give a fuck about you. Like, especially most people think you a DEIA hire. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like you're gonna have to start putting wins, and he turned it around. I think he got a ranked top 15 by the end of the season. This schedule that he got up here, he should win. He should go damn near undefeated. Like, especially if he even beats USC, that's gonna be like, all right, bet, like he's here to stay. But if he lose to Georgia Tech or one of these, or even Florida State or one of these goofy, they face Army and Navy. That's 2 wins right there. Like, come on, like, yeah, I don't see how you can not win with that schedule.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, bad loss for the brothers. I mean, it was rough, Shelton. Sharon Moore lost. And as we close out, I gotta spotlight this chat from Ray Prasimo, who said, I knew Sharon Moore was in trouble the second he got on TV crying over Harbaugh. As a black man, there's never a reason to cry, to get on public TV crying for a white man ever.
Ken, I was like, when I seen that shit, bro, I was like, bro, I don't even want him to be the head coach.
I didn't either.
I didn't want it, like, and I kept that to myself until this point, because it was just like, bro, I didn't even want him to be the head coach. Like, that was sick. That was sick. And now he cried over Harbaugh like he died.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was
like Django, bro. Like, yeah, it was like what you doing?
He got suspended for doing goofy shit, and then he hit he left right after that. Like,
right. And then he left the cupboard bare too, because he took the quarterback to the NFL. You start running back. Everybody
graduated too.
Yeah, if everybody of significance went with him. So there's, he left the cupboard bare. So you got to start over. And you got to build your own.
Michigan got they got a little ways to go right now. They facing Arizona State, who looks like they can put numbers on the board next week. Then they face they're at home. They have a long homestand. They face Arizona State next week. Then they face USC. Then they face Minnesota. So they could lose 2 of the next. They could lose 2 of the next 3.
Yeah. But yeah, but that was funny. That was a bad look. But, and this is new. Somebody called us some racist ninjas.
That's pretty good right there.
It is.
I would say, but I will say this. I don't know why. I do like the fact that Texas football is back. I don't know why. I'm fucking with it. Like, and I know I love the Quinn Ewers love that he getting, because I know that he got he got a Nepo baby right behind him, ready to take his spot. So he got a ball out, and I like how they making the joke of it too, like back up who. However, Texas, y'all got to watch out for Texas. Texas looks scary. Like, I think Miami, like the U and Texas are like 2 of the scariest teams. I don't think if they're on your schedule you want to play right now.
No, you don't. And they're gaining confidence as they go along. So
exactly,
that's not what you want to see, is teams like that get hot. Because when they do, they got good quarterbacks, they're solid and confident, everything else falls in place.
Does Michigan have a losing season this year?
I think so.
I don't think they'll have a losing season.
Do you think they make the playoffs?
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, though.
No, that's a losing season to Michigan. I would tell you that right now. That's a losing season to Michigan, especially after winning the title. Because most people are going to be like, bro, how you win a title and then not even make the playoffs that following year? Like that, you going from heaven to hell.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. So Mary is calling us some haters. So Mary, we'll be back next week because they play Colorado State 7:30. So probably around the same time. Please tune in and hear what we have to say. But look, people on this show has been pumping up and been praising Deion for everything that he's been doing. This year was supposed to be better. So to your point, yeah, he did beat Nebraska last year, 36 to whatever. But this year was supposed to be better, and it wasn't, and he ended up losing. So, and yeah, Nebraska may have got some better players, but they, you know, shit, they didn't even score the second half. And Deion had, I mean, Colorado had plenty of chances to score. So, you know, we just got, look, there's some Leroys around here. So
somebody asked, where are the post game interviews?
It ain't with us. I don't know, but we're gonna hear what Deion has to say Tuesday. If depending on what he says, we may cover it. But nevertheless, man,
he got to say something.
Yeah, no, he has to. He has to. But I will say this: he said something crazy. He said that the defense played well. It was just big plays and some stops. I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah, what were you watching?
But they did. Yeah, it didn't seem like it when they gave up 28 points. But in the second half, they didn't score. So, and Nebraska shot themselves in the foot as well. But that's neither here nor there. The fact is, they held them. They held them off the board. They shut them out.
And before you close things out, Ken, what's up with college football and kicking? Like,
I don't know.
I'm like, and this is going back to me where the Ohio State Georgia game in the playoffs when CJ Stroud led them down the field. And that kicker he could have made history and ended Georgia's back to back or like ended their season. Yep. And they just missed. And it's like even the gimmies, there was a lot of gimme kicks this game, and I'm like, bro, they missing them wide right. I'm like, bro, like at this point, I'm like, I'm surprised if somebody doesn't go for it. I see why they went for it on fourth down towards in the middle towards the end of this game from Colorado State, because it's just like, bro, you can't even trust the fucking kicker, like.
No. And these kicks aren't even close.
They're like me and you. It's like you show me and you go down. Like, hey, bro, we put on the Colorado helmet.
Man, boy, they keep calling people like stands a kick.
I know we're wrapping up, but come on, William Ivory, bro. Like Deion Sanders can't make the team by himself. He needs good coaches around him and players, bro. Like what? Come on, man. He got NFL coaches. Warren Sapp. Come on, man.
Yeah, you're right. He does need that, and he's responsible for bringing them out there. So
exactly.
if they ain't good, then it's on him still. It's still his fault.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens next year. Next week they play Colorado State, and we'll see how they play.
They got to win 3 straight. Sheldon, right? If they don't win, if they lose to Colorado State, bro, it's a fucking, the train is off the tracks.
Yeah, and it's already wobbly. Wheel is wobbly.
Well, they should beat them, but they have some injuries to deal with. But they should. So we'll see. But yeah, man, we appreciate.
Shallow's probably gonna be out for the season.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, man. If you're new, you're watching this, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and tune in, man, because we're gonna watch this thing and see where this train go, because this is supposed to be the year they move forward, and we want to see progress. That's that. So we'll get you guys next time. We out. Peace.